every parent watching this, please explain this one thing that's always bothered me. Is this possible, or is this not possible? To anyone in the education system, to anyone that knows about reschooling children, if you're in that bit, explain this to me. April the 15th, 2022 is the middle of half term. And the term starts in most places on May the 1st. And that's usually about a 4-week holiday. So the half term is like 4 weeks. Anyway, remember my son, and this has always puzzled me because no one's ever given me an answer. My son was removed on April the 15th, 2022, and he was removed from his school via email from the mother. She emailed the school in the middle of half term, a school that my son's been at 7.5 years, that said, I am removing boys from the school because there's a child issue. Now, we all know there was a child issue. There was no child issue. That was a made-up email because the allegations she made had nothing to do with my child. We've already covered that in other chapters, but this is the interesting thing. I had no idea on April the 15th that my son had been removed from his private school of 7 years. But in my head on April the 15th when I was arrested, I knew that my son was going back to school on May the 1st. So in that 16-day period when she first took him, I didn't quite know what she was up to, but at the same time I knew my son was going back to school on May the 1st, so I could see her then or talk to my son there. I didn't need to make a big deal about it. But I found out on May the 3rd, after ringing the school 3 days, another thing I've covered, that my son had been removed. So on May the 3rd, just 2 days into the new school term, I'm now thinking, where's my son? Now I know that she's moved him to her dead mum and dad's house in Worcester, but this is the interesting thing. And I need you to really explain this to me. Her father died in March 2022. She never told me. Let's just remember that. This is my best friend that's told me everything in her life, where my son goes every month to see his nan and granddad. He died in March, and she never told me. Her mother died 2 years previously, so in the beginning of March 2022, she knew that her dead mum and dad's house is now empty. So going back to May the 3rd, the day that I found out my son was no longer at his school, I then rung the schools around where I think her and my son are now living and find out that my son had been reschooled and had started his new school on the 1st of May. So I don't know anyone that in the middle of half term can apply and get a place in a school starting on the 1st of May. And if that is the case, it will show you that the reason I was never told that her father had died in March 2022 is because it was in March 2022 that she decided to reschool my son, knowing that she was going to go and take over her dead mum and dad's house, which would also show you that the allegation made on April the 15th was utter garbage, and would also show you entirely how a family court, I don't know how they call them, family court, and Kafkas can ignore all of those actions and never even ask a question about it, and when you bring it up as a father, it's almost dismissed. Please tell me, anyone, can a child on the 15th of April in the middle of half term be moved 3 hours away and be reschooled on the 1st of May? I don't think that's ever been done. And I don't know how it would be done because everywhere's shut. And I just don't understand it.
If you like Deano stories and you want more, and you've got stories of your own that you want told, get in contact and we can sort something out.